What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? That was my rude ass phone. Now it all of a sudden wants to make noise and shit. Been sitting here for like 10 minutes trying to get it to go live. So for those of you who are watching on the Just Radio Newark website or the Ustream, much love and appreciation and could y'all like share it to my Facebook page so that everybody else could get it? Cause fuck this phone. No, y'all really don't understand. I'm really a whole lot pissed off that it's giving me this problem. But it's okay though. We're gonna get through it. We're gonna get through it. Just like we got through this week. We have made it to another Devious Friday. We are here. The weekend is here, so we are, you know how I do. We starting right here. AM Flow tonight, 43rd Street Cafe. Okay. I am hosting. It's going down. Let's rock. Tomorrow, 30 Maple Avenue in Montclair. Humble Beginnings. It's the first party of the new year. And you know, next month is our 12-year anniversary. 144 parties as of next month. Knock on wood. So you need to come out. It's a whole bunch of stuff to do. And if you're sitting in the house, it's really your fault. Because I'm telling you where the parties are.
Get that info out there.
You know? So there's one thing we're not going to talk about tonight. And I'm going to say this up front. And that's 44 and a half. That's the last mention. He gets no airplay, no more talk time, nothing. I don't want to. And another thing I don't want to talk about is that little black boy with the monkey shirt on. Because his mother showed her monkey ass saying that people were overreacting. Bitch, you're black and you live in Sweden. You don't know the history of this country well enough to make that statement. So, that being said, fuck you and your little $1 million wannabe puffy little kid. We're just not featuring him. I don't care how many contracts he got. It's just not going to happen. I really couldn't believe that you said that. You disrespected a whole country and the culture and the horrendous things that happened to us in this country by saying that we were crying wolf. No, we're pulling people up on the things that are disrespectful to us. And it's about time I think we did it. So, fuck you. I think that's enough fucks for the first 5 seconds of the show.
I ran out 2 weeks ago.
You ran out?
Yeah.
I was surprised. I was really surprised I had it. He left.
Well, it's a new year, so you probably just got.
I just got some more new fucks.
Mine didn't come in yet. Shout out to Amazon for keeping my fucks at bay. I haven't gotten my shit.
They still.
I ain't got none.
See, Amazon run real good over here for some reason.
I never make a purchase.
What
I don't care to purchase fucks.
You don't care to purchase? You don't use them at all?
No, for what?
I know that's right. That's what it is. That's why
you run out, don't you? So what the hell? The fuck?
You really do.
I gotta waste money buying more. No, fuck
you
that.
Run out so quick. Let my guests introduce themselves real quick.
I am Tashira, Icon Don Taliaferro. Hustler of many things, jack of many trades. Last year I went out as the electrician, luxury car service driver. This year I'm coming in as the still electrician, but the entrepreneur and the person behind the hashtag Black Success Matters as a clothing line.
Nice.
And then that's actually we're gonna because. Our folks love clothes, so that's where we're gonna start to get the clothes out. But it's a movement. It's more than a brand; it's a movement.
I like that.
So,
okay, and that's
fresh
one
off
of
the press. Look so fresh, my hand still got the paint on it.
Black Success Matters. Pull your chain up a little bit so they can see the hashtag. There you go. Nice, very nice.
We go.
That's there we go.
This is one of my
original.
Fifth when I made. Yeah, that's one of the original. So I gotta sign that.
That's nice.
Yeah. I got a few down here on the floor, you know what I'm saying?
So you can tell them the address that they need to get in contact and if they want to purchase one of these beautiful shirts.
Actually, if you go to my Facebook, Tashira Icon Don Taliaferro, and you find my post, because everything I do is public, you find my post and you share it, you'll be entered in a drawing on Sunday at 5 p.m. for the first one. This is the first purchase. It was going to be a giveaway before the first purchase was ever made, but my supporter.
I know,
but of course,
right.
Because support means put up your $20, put up your $35.
That's exactly what it means.
I can't ride next, and we talked about this. I can't ride next to you and say, "Yes, girl, them shirts is fab. They everything life. Good luck selling them shirts," and then pull off without buying one.
That's right.
And it was important to me to have the first one. We went to North Print Shop. Shout out to North Print Shop.
My first,
had an amazing
shirts ever being made.
Nice.
So this is so original in so many ways, and I'm so glad, like I told you earlier, to be in this with you at this stage.
Yes.
That's so awesome. So
That's
this
right.
is how you support. You buy the first shirt, you wear it the first day without the signature. She's like, oh, I didn't sign it. Listen, it's
all
still a
right.
promotion.
That's right.
So let's get it.
So
That's right.
actually, like I said, this is fresh off the press. When she was like, she called me at 7:01. She was like, so what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm making my shirt. It didn't come out the way I wanted to, right? So I had to embellish it, and it's like what?
That's amazing.
What?
That is.
What?
It looks really nice.
What? Like this is one of my favorite.
Yeah, that's high.
But yeah, it's a movement. Like I said, I do electrical, so I have something else that I'm doing with electrical as far as teaching people. But I don't want to bring too much about that. So I actually put that all together. But when I tell you it's something amazing, it's something amazing for our people. My whole thing is to build our people up. Last year I went to school to learn it, and this year I want to go into teaching. So I can sell you fish all day, but wouldn't it be a lot more lucrative to you if I taught you how
That's
to
right. Teach me how to fish.
There we go.
All right.
So,
And this lovely young lady on the end, last but definitely not least.
Hi, everybody. It's Just Joy from Just Joy Media. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks, everybody, for sharing and supporting GS Radio and DBS Friday. Thank you for having
yes.
having us.
Oh, the pleasure is mine, truly, truly. And somebody tag the video to my page because I'm not messing with my phone right now. We having an argument.
You think I can do it?
I'm really not speaking to.
Well, baby, back up.
the-
Okay, no, all right.
I'm just not featuring this, and Samsung will hear about it.
I'll tell you.
Joy was talking about some of the things that were coming up this weekend at the library that she's going to be a part of. I wanted her to let you guys know about that before we get into any discussion, because we'll get lost and it'll be the end of the show in 2 more seconds. It'll be like, oh yeah, we forgot to
I
say.
just invited you to watch.
X,
I
Y,
don't know
Z.
if that's what you meant for me to try to do, but I don't know these.
Yeah.
Well, once I can it'll come up as it being
I'm
tagged
not
on his
trying to tag
page.
anything. You know how to shoot this
Yeah.
thing. So, about tomorrow's event, I graduated from University High, class of 97. One of my classmates, Dr. Otiz Porter, wrote a book. This is his latest. I think it's like his 5th, and it's about his coming out story. It's called Dear Anonymous Friend, and on tomorrow morning at 11 a.m., he's going to do a meet and greet, book signing type of an event at 11 in the African American room, and Just Joy Media will be there. I'll be co-hosting with him. We'll ask some questions. He'll read a couple excerpts from the book, and I'll give you guys an exclusive because that's what I do. I have a copy of his Grammy-nominated song, Shower Me With Confetti.
Wow.
And we're going to play it. So we're going to play it tomorrow at the event. We're going to play it. Hopefully, we'll get a chance to spin it here.
Why does that sound familiar?
Well, it's house music. I'm sure you've heard.
Okay.
So,
I'm like,
yeah. And again, it's Grammy-nominated. Did I mention that? In addition to knowing the outstanding man and the intelligent scholar, he is apparently a musical J. He got a really deep voice and that confetti, something about the way he's. Anyway, it's an amazing song, so I can't wait to play it. He's actually trying to get here from New York. He's in town again for the event, so he's trying to get here from New York. If he
Okay.
can get here, he'll be here, and he'll get to tell you more about the event and more about the book.
Okay, great. I'm glad there's a whole lot, and I haven't been to the Newark Library since the summer. But I was dancing in the courtyard, so I don't know if that counts. Does anybody know if that counts? Does that count as being at the
Anytime
library?
you dance anyway, it counts.
Your presence
Anywhere?
was there. I don't know if you mean that you utilized the library.
Right. I mean, I utilized it
But
in
then
the
you
way
utilized
that
it, right.
I saw
So then you
it
utilized
needed to be
then you
utilized at
utilized
that
the
time.
establishment. Yes, you
'Cause
did.
you
It
can't
transcended.
bring
It
a
transcended.
DJ and set him outside with a dance floor and
It transcended.
expect me to just go inside and read. It's just like that's not what we're doing. It's just not going to happen. So,
You digress.
and you know what? There were some things that I wanted to talk about tonight, and they escaped me because what I did before I got here was I started reading news articles, and that's what messed me up.
That's the devil.
And what I discovered reading these news articles was I don't care about half the shit that is going on. The things that people find newsworthy,
Nor should you.
I'm saying here, and it's the worst kind of detachment that I have experienced in a minute. Like everything is bullshit. It's that whole thing.
Scary.
Everything is bullshit
I can't
because
even imagine because I don't tune in like
If
that.
it doesn't
Listen.
pertain to me and my mission, I don't vibrate it into my energy.
I feel you
I
on
don't.
that. But at the same time, I try to stay abreast of what's going on in the world, in the
Yes,
community,
you do have to have a certain-
things like
What
that.
you're in, because the
Yeah.
the feeling which you're in and the aspect of it was as to why you're in it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
you
I
also
just
kind of
don't
need to
want
know
to,
what's going on in the world. I mean, you need to know kind of what's going on. But
Yeah,
I'm
but
with you. I don't need a constant stream of how bad it really is.
Not even
Because
that. Some of the
I already
stuff that they
know.
choose
Yeah,
to call
it-
new,
it could-
it's like, you
2
really
second
wrote
style, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this? It was like Oprah, you in your backyard with your mudslides. Really, I really don't care.
Oh.
You, Ellen DeGeneres, and all you people in your multi-million-dollar insured homes. I'm supposed to feel bad, really? I don't.
No.
I'm sorry. Y'all knew that mudslides happened, and you've just been lucky for the past 10 years. Y'all know where y'all at. Y'all are in California. Y'all are on a bunch of fault lines. Let it rain real heavy, and shit is gonna slide.
I never knew that happened. So I'm not sure if you're telling me a story that it could happen
No,
or it did happen. See, I
it did happen.
No.
Well, to bring you up to speed, the Santa Barbara area where a lot of stars live, and I mean like when you Oprah, Ellen, that echelon, they experienced a whole bunch of heavy rain. There's a lot of mountains and hills, but all of them aren't fortified rock. A lot of it is dirt. It rained too much, dirt turned to what? Mud do what?
It's gonna run.
It's affected by gravity.
Downhill you shall
So
come.
if you built a house on a bunch of dirt
That's how I feel about beach houses.
and it fell, listen.
You chose to purchase that property there, so
And you
chose
probably
the-
paid
the
more
damages.
money than other people who have houses in much safer
You
places.
chose that.
You chose to do that, so I'm having trouble.
Why are we even?
I'm
covering
just
this?
telling y'all the stuff that I'm stuck not giving a fuck about. Maybe that's what my whole thing this Friday is going to be. Is I don't give a fuck because nobody is dealing with anything that makes nobody's trying to make an impact except us. It seems like, and
Right.
it seems like it was always running into the same pitfalls and things like that all the time, and it gets to be a little.
Redundant.
Redundant is one of the words, but there's a few more. There's a few more in there coming. It gets to be you wonder, is there anybody else out there who even cares about what's going on, or do they just want to pay lip service and be heard? That's what I'm wondering. Because I'm tired of hearing talk. I'm tired of there's no action. When somebody sent me the thing with the 44 and a half last night, I said, who cares? I was like, nobody gonna do nothing about it anyway. So what's the sense of talking about it? There's no sense of talking about it, right? Because nothing's gonna change. Has anybody heard about any impeachment hearings?
So let me change the subject
Okay.
deliberately. I want to say that there are people out here who want to do things.
But is there a but?
There
Or
is a but, but
however.
I don't want to talk about the but.
Okay.
I just want to give life in 2018 to people who
It
are
make it
doing
happen.
things.
So let's give me something.
I will give you some details about a meeting that we had this morning.
Please do.
We met with the principal of Marion P. Thomas Charter School, Middle School, Janique Flournoy Hamilton, who I went to high school with, graduated with.
And where's the school?
It's downtown
Broad
Newark.
Street.
Broad Street.
Broad
Okay.
Street.
Is it a new charter school? Or
I
And
don't know how
when I
many-
researched, it was like a number of them. They have a high school that deals with culinary and I believe performing arts.
okay.
They have elementary and then they have a middle school, but they have maybe two middle schools and two elementaries or something of the sort. Like it was a number
In
of
this
them.
area?
Or maybe,
Yes.
maybe I don't know if one is like maybe the administrative area for certain schools, but it was like 4 or 5. What's the names that came up?
Okay.
That came back.
And so you met with them.
And the principal wants to bring, we're going to start a media club. I'll just skip to the details. We're going to start a media club with the middle school kids, project-based learning. We're going to try to keep in line with the curriculum that they're learning, but we want to bring arts to them. We want to bring music to them. We want to bring fashion. I want to bring more culinary arts, see what that program is about. We want to also bring a meditation aspect to it. So we're going to try to work on a weekly schedule where we meet with kids and along with their teachers. And like I said, what their curriculum is, what they're working on. We're going to do our best to enhance that. For me, it's about turning these young people into media, because I want them to be the people who not only tell our stories, because that's what we're supposed to do, but I want them to be the people who care and want to make a difference, and that's what we hear in the media, and that's what we hear in the news.
Okay.
We get tired of what we call fake news, and we get tired of other people telling us what is and what isn't, but I want to turn or start to show young people that they can be their own voice, they can use their voices, they can use pictures, they can use cameras, they can use no words if they want to, if that's how they choose to express themselves.
Okay.
But we've been doing a lot of work with North Arts Council, Plainfield Arts Council, so we're going to bring arts as inspired and requested by the principal, and we're just going to work together to see what the kids want and need and try to get it to them.
Okay, a few questions. This is basically for you're going to do it at that school,
Yes.
so other kids from another school wouldn't be able to participate,
no.
or would be?
No,
So-
no. For me, because for me, it's arts as a whole. So this isn't something that we wouldn't just stop there. We're gonna bring it to not just the children, teenagers, adults, and however we can give it to the city as a whole.
Okay.
Not just the one school.
Not just that school.
No.
That's just the
children.
first school that you met with.
Right, exactly. I believe
okay.
children are like, to be able to get into the minds of children and they're imaginative, how open it is. They're a lot more mentally open than adults are. So why stop at one school when you can influence the child that can probably influence the next adult that can influence the city?
Absolutely. Have you guys formulated a plan as to how the program that you're trying to implement in the school would, say, link up with a program like this that has a studio and already has audio visual and things like that, to try to make it more a community program?
Writing it up now.
Okay.
And I intend to utilize a lot of the resources and connections and networking that we've been able to do in 2017. I know a lot of entertainers. I know a lot of producers. I know a lot of media multimedia artists, painters, sculptors. We ran into when we went to North Print
coming
Shop.
out of the state, coming out of the city.
We ran into a young man who paints. You know, we so I'm going to be calling in a lot of favors.
Okay.
To get people to come into the school to work with the kids, and to do things like have field trips to come here to the hub to see what's going on, see how to work the boards, see how things are done behind the scenes, and link that to the curriculum that they learn. There's going to be some type of writing you have to do. There'll be some type of math involved with some, I don't know what math will be, but
Right.
you know, somebody that's somebody else's job. But that's good. That's for you.
You already
Take
know.
it.
What?
Well, there you go.
Math
Then.
and science
But
is
yeah,
my thing, boy. Math.
Now you're one of the first women I've met.
That's an electrician.
No,
Oh, well.
I've met women who are electricians. I don't meet a whole lot of women who like math.
Really?
Really,
that's me. I can't.
almost every
stopped
young
that.
girl in school I know, they're like, "Oh, math. I can't do math. Math is my worst subject." Why are you telling yourself that? It's a self-fulfilling prophecy at this point. You're going to
Yes.
fail math because you're telling yourself that you're not good at math. So
believe
I don't.
there's-
Now
nothing
I'm
about
not
the
shocked
hands
that you're good at
and
math.
Numbers.
I'm not shocked that you're good
Numbers.
at anything.
Everything
But-
is numbers. Letters is numbers. Numbers.
Everything. Now there is the. I was watching this thing the other day and it was talking about the number 9. Get in.
I'm gonna have to because that's my grandfather's birthday.
Listen.
Why I do what I do is behind this man. So let me know.
The number 9 is like it's particularly when it involves things like circles and everything that's involved in geometry and geography. Everything to 3 to 6 or a 3 or a 9
My birthday's the 3rd.
of what month?
May 3rd. His is May 9th.
Okay. Yeah, so there are all the formulas in the universe that have to do with all of the things that we have brought into existence have to do with numerology and measurement, stuff like that, and all of those things boil down to 3 and 9. Like a circle, it's 360, and if you divide the 3 and everything, once you add it and reduce it, the 3 plus the 6 equals 9.
That's
When
right.
you do the 4 angles,
90 degrees.
when you reduce them, it always comes down to 9. And I'm like, okay,
off track.
so nobody is checking this out. Like people aren't. There's a that's the key to it, because music is math as well. So if you're a musician, you really should be trying to know math. If you do anything in music, you really should try and know math, because it's going to help you in the long run be better at your craft. Just like you're saying, it helps you obviously in being an electrician. Now, there are some people out there who probably are going, "Oh, I haven't heard of a female electrician." So, what made you want to get into doing electrical work?
Okay, so I've always been hands-on my entire life. My grandfather told me that when I was 2 years old, that he was in the CD room, and I came in with this toy, the wind-up toy that has like the, like that plays the screen with the music and it changes as you go along. So mine had stopped working, and I came in and I grabbed the screwdriver and started banging him with the screwdriver at 2. And he knew then I was a genius. He said, because you knew it was a tool, you didn't know exactly what it was for, but you knew your toy wasn't working. You was going to make it work by any means necessary.
Wow.
So when I got older, I was going to go back to school for, I think, business or something like that. And me and my best friend would go tell my mother about it. And she was like, I don't know what for. You good with your hands. And I saw a commercial for Lincoln Tech, and I got up that day, and I went to interview with them, started the very next week. My favorite part in that was electrical. Wow. So then I went to, had a photo shoot some years later. Guy was a plumber. He might do some plumbing with him. I did that with him. My hot water heater went. He came and he fixed it. It was a defect. I went in the next day. I fixed it. I said, I'm gonna go be a plumber. So I talked to my father. He was like, no, why don't you go for it all? I went to the school I graduated for electrical. I had went to go find out for plumbing, and they didn't offer just plumbing anymore. They had general construction. And I didn't want general construction. I wanted plumbing. So my father was like, no, get a roundabout, get your hands on everything. So I went down to the deputy mayor, shout out to Rahman Muhammad, and I told him I wanted to either get a job or go to school. And he chose to put me through school. He called this guy named Ron over at New Community. I went there for general construction. What was my favorite? It was electrical. So this is the city of Newark. People say Newark don't have these resources.
Yes, they do.
I am a living. This shirt, Newark. I'm a living proof of Newark. Okay.
We all are sitting at this
exactly.
table. Yeah, we all are.
For Newark. So, so yeah, I went to school for general construction. Electrical was my favorite. So then I got a job, and they did me dirty, but I had made enough to collect unemployment. Okay. So all right, what I'm going to do? I'm gonna go back to school again. So I went back down to the city of Newark. I had just made it because I had been out of school with a year's time. It had to be at least a year, otherwise I wouldn't have been able to go. Right. Had it been less than a year, but it was exactly at a year. And she told me I couldn't go for electrical. Natasha, I shout out to her. She told me I couldn't go for electrical, and so now she's like, you gotta find something that's higher for general construction, like maybe like a management and stuff like that. So I'm looking online, but I want electrical. She gave me a call back like, you can go to school.
Pull your mic over.
She gave me a call back like, you can go to school for electrical. And she told me to try out NCC, go to both sites. I said, well, I want to go to East Orange. She said, no, go to Jersey City too, see what they're about. Went back to Jersey City and found out that was the one I had went for general construction. They sent me to this teacher named Mr. Rosario. And they said, that's going to be the one that's going to seal the deal for her. Okay. Went upstairs, met Rosario, thought I was going to have him. I didn't have him. Wound up having this guy named Mr. Mercado. So I had a job during days, so I was able to go nights. So I had Rosario and Mercado. I was like switching back and forth. And that was like my awesome experience. And that's, graduated 4.0 in that. Really? Went to school for automotive, 4.0, 100% attendance. Wow. Well, when I went to Lincoln Tech, that was my money. So there was no way I was gonna burn that. I know that's right. There was no way happening. But for Newark, like if I could do it for myself, and my whole point of even doing this is doing it for my city, I could do this. I'm gonna do this. So I did it with a 4.0. Those days I missed or whatever, but they made me make it. What is it? NCI, National Career Institute. They will make you make up they gonna make you make up them damn days, okay? I made up them days. I was times I was in there 12 hours a day. I go from 9 in the morning, and I wouldn't come out till like 5 in the evening, or sometimes 7 in the evening. Or I go to school in the morning, go to work, and then go to school at night to 10 o'clock. I was determined. Then I had also went for before I even got to school, I had went to the union. They denied me before I had even learned anything about electrical. But I was determined. I'm going to be an electrician. You're
in the union now?
No, I'm not. But after I graduated, the day I graduated, I went to go work for somebody. He did me dirty. But I appreciate that because the experience that I got, the things that I learned, allowed me for the last job I just had, which was a company out of Pennsylvania. I worked at a nursing home that they're building up. And putting the receptacles in, like running the wiring, knowing how to run the circuits. Thankful from the last job that I had, plus going to school. I was able to do it. So now I'm at the point where I'm ready to teach it to somebody.
Nice.
So now I'm trying to figure out what certifications I can go through in order to have to teach it.
In order to have to, okay. Have you been up to? We'll talk about that later.
Yes, we will.
But I'm glad you got us. I'm glad you brought that to my attention, because there was something that, you know how there's something that's like in the back of your mind and it's like itching, but you don't realize that it's bothering you until, like, when you were just speaking, you were talking about being a product of Newark, and so many young people throughout the centuries. It's not just my generation or your generation or the generation before. Many of the young people, unfortunately, in the city of Newark, don't take advantage of the opportunities that are here, and it's a double-edged sword when it comes to why they don't get to take advantage of those opportunities. Part of it is because they don't seek to take advantage, and part of it is because nobody tells them that there are opportunities to seek.
Right.
So it's a it's a little of both. There's no one way to look at it. And I say all that to say this: last night I walked into my house. I live in a co-op community, so there are certain things that just don't happen because all of the tenants are basically we pay the mortgage together is how a co-op works. So you're not paying rent, you're paying the mortgage with everybody else who lives with you, or all your neighbors. Y'all pay the mortgage. So last night, this is the first time I've been living in the same I've been living in the same place for 10 years, right? And last night, for the first time, I walked into my building and I saw a young man sitting on the steps. Okay. Real quick. And we'll get to the guest in 1 second. How you doing, sir? So I walked into the hallway, and for the first time in my entire time living there, there's a young man sitting on the stairs outside my apartment door. His phone isn't plugged into the charger in the hallway, and there's another young man up around the corner on the stairwell, and she's gonna need a mic. And yeah, you're off camera. So slide over here a little bit. It's cool. We all good at this table. So
He's up around the corner.
yeah. So I only saw two, but I think there were three. There were at least three in the hallway. Immediately I smell marijuana. There are blunt pieces on the stairway, which is something. That's not us. That's not where I live. That doesn't happen. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, all right, y'all got to get out the hallway. You don't live here. Oh, we visiting such. I go upstairs, knock on the door that they said they're visiting. Lady has no idea. They run outside. They laughing, kikiing. This, that, and the third. And it just put me in the space of, there's a community center across the street where y'all could be learning something, but y'all are over here in my hallway. And the worst part about it is, okay, where our laundry room is. Kids, I think from the high school across the street, have found that if they go into the laundry room during the day, the police don't look for them in our laundry room. So they go in there and they have parties. I've walked in there. They done brought their radios. They smoking their blunts. They got their drinks. They brought tell the girls to meet them over there. Like, it's a party in the laundry room, and I'm sitting here like, are you kidding me? Like, this is what's going on, and there's a place across the street where y'all could be learning something useful. You know what I'm saying?
That's a choice.
That's what I was saying earlier. Like, it's not just that people don't know. It's sometimes people just don't seek to know.
Because they probably across the street when it's open too. They utilizing everything. It was
your
so,
laundry room, your hallway, the community center, the playground, they everywhere.
Yeah,
they get
I'm
to taste
like,
all of it all.
I don't know. And my thing. Now, first of all, it's about my safety. Now, I wasn't scared, but the thing is, and my mother was scared. My mother was scared. She's like, please don't go out in the hallway. They might have a gun. I don't give a fuck right about now. I just don't care. I want them out in my hallway smoking weed. We're not doing that. But I don't. The other thing is, I don't like calling the cops on a young black man. That's not something I can bring myself to do unless there's an imminent danger.
Mm-hmm.
Kara. Oh yeah, we don't do that. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, so it was just it was something that was so uncharacteristic of everything that I've experienced while I've lived there, and of course it starts making, it makes you think, what could I do differently in this situation to make this a better situation? Like, how can I make this a teaching moment? But when when it's such a shock to you, I don't automatically go, let me teach the kids. I automatically go to, I'm getting ready to knock you in your mother, get out of my hallway. Because you're encroaching upon where I live, and now it's you just being even in the hallway is uncomfortable for me. And I have to live here.
So
you know what I'm saying?
If you have that situation occur again, are you prepared to do the teaching the next time around, or are you in the issue shock all over again? Right.
I haven't figured out how to teach them. I'll say that. I haven't figured out how to teach them because of who they showed me they were in the moment. They kept thinking it was a joke. They kept thinking it was funny. They kept thinking that they were doing something to...
or could have escalated into something else because of your attempt to teach.
Right. They whatever it was, they were, I don't know what they were thinking. What I do know is that they, first of all, when I asked them about the smoking weed in the hallway, he gonna start trying. Well, don't you believe that it should be legal in the mother? I don't give a fuck about none of that. Right now, it's illegal.
I'm kind of impressed.
Period.
I'm kind of impressed that he had the intelligence to go that far. I'm impressed.
Right, exactly.
I'm impressed.
You can't find nowhere else to smoke, but you can hit me with that real quick in my hallway outside my home.
Next time you go out in your hallway, you go, you know what, my man, I was thinking. Put the hell down. Put the hell down. I was thinking. You're right about some of the reasons why it should be legalized. Why do you think it should be legalized?
Let me explain something.
I'm just saying.
You're getting out of my hallway first. There will be no more in my hallway.
No, I get that part, but I'm just saying you gotta just monitor him, because every time he smoke in your hallway and you try to talk,
there will be
he
no
don't
more
have
time.
he don't have that
smoking
type
in
of
my
time. Is what
hallway.
he's trying to tell you. He don't have that type of time.
That we're not doing again.
You're gonna be like, man, nah, we're not going up there. That dude gonna come out, we're gonna go down to the
He don't have that type of time.
We already did that. Because that was last night. Don't come back in my door. Because there will be no, I don't do second chances with you encroaching upon my home. I don't do that. I just don't. But we have a gentleman here who drove a long way, so we're going to get to that, and I'm going to get off my soapbox real quick.
It wasn't a long way.
It was long
There
enough.
was a lot of traffic, though.
Oh, here we go. Would you introduce yourself, please?
Sure.
Well, she kind of gave you an introduction earlier, but
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
I missed that. Yeah, do it again.
Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in this evening. Just Joy Media is proud to have in the building a Newark native, a dear friend of mine for so very long. Doctor, I won't, because it's my birthday weekend, and
Right.
I'm not telling nobody. People keep saying they don't believe it, so I'm not going to let them.
Right.
This young man, this is his, I want to say, fifth book, third book.
Yeah, third.
He wrote a book about his coming out story called Dear Anonymous Friend.
Yes.
And I've been promoting our event tomorrow, but I'll let you do a better job. Please join me in welcoming our guest, Dr. O.T. Porter. GS Radio North, baby. You on the real radio.
You got the question on.
We real radio for real people.
He's like, who did that?
Oh, background applause.
Come on with it. You deserve it.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I appreciate it, especially, as impromptu as my visit and everything was. I appreciate, you all bringing me on. I appreciate just Joy, like, for real, like, having my back from the moment I said I was writing this book. She was on it. Mm-hmm. She's like, what can I do? How can I promote? Just putting the word out there, sharing pictures on Facebook, sharing events that I'm doing, even when they were in other places, like, just doing Newark well, doing Newark proud. So thank you.
Well, thank you.
I'm
Thank
real
you. Just
proud
show
of
media.
this.
We out here. We international 2018. We on the tour. We gonna figure it out.
Okay.
We coming to a city
Yes.
near you.
Well, come to Houston. That's the city near me. Yeah. bring it.
Let's
Bring it
go.
right down. We'll
What
get
they
it
got
poppin'.
Splash out there? What's this
Yeah,
big thing?
Houston Splash.
Yeah, let's do it.
I bumped into that last year. Like, I forgot that they did that because my husband is white. So, yeah.
Shout out to Chad. We love you,
Right.
Chad.
How was your bump into?
So, because
It was slight.
yeah, we were riding around one day and he was like, "Yo, let's go to Galveston and go horseback riding." I was like, "Yo, that's
'Cause that's
cool."
what white Chad
yeah,
wants to
some
do.
white people nonsense. So I'm like, yeah, let's do that. And so we go out to go horseback riding, and we're like, "Yo, what's going on?" He like, "Yo, it's a lot of black people out here. I want to stay." I was like, "Of course you want to stay." And so we found out, like, yeah, it was Houston Splash. So we had a good time. It was a lot of fun, but I completely forgot about that event because they just don't promote it like they used to in Houston. Like when I first moved there,
They need
it
us.
was a big deal to have Splash going on, and everybody knew about it, and you barely hear about it talked about. Like all they talk about is June and Gay Pride Month, Gay Pride Parade, but
Well,
Splash
it's time to
is
bring
sorta-
Splash back.
yeah, April. It's
Splash is a big it's kind of like a
it's the Black Gay Pride event in Houston, basically.
yeah.
they call
I
it
was
Splash.
thinking of another hedonistic way to put it, but I like
Right.
the way you put it. See, that's why you're an author and I'm just on the radio because I was going to tell you it was like a gay freaknik.
Right. Yeah.
Not for nothing.
Or a
That's-
black gay freak nigga.
But
Right.
it ain't all black because you see Chad wanted to go there.
Okay,
You know?
right.
Shout out to- We
It
love
was a
Chad.
whole lot
It's
of
a
white
lot of
people
Chads
there.
out there.
Yeah,
You
all the
heard?
white
So
people
you
that
can't
all the
say
white
black.
people that like black people was there.
Yes,
Oh,
sir. They
it was
wanted to
like
say.
Oreo swirl. Okay.
Yes, honey, that's the Splash. Get it?
Yeah.
So let's talk about this book.
Tell me what's up.
How was it writing this book?
It was intense, right? Because my writing process is very strange, I think, at the very least. I write a book in my head first before I ever type anything on the keyboard. So by the time I start writing on the keyboard, I feel like I know exactly what's going to happen because I've spent a year writing the book in
With
my
it
head.
in your head, right.
And so I start, you always know where the story's going to start, where it's going to end, and then I just sort of fill in the gaps. And so as I'm filling in the gaps in my head, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is great. Like, this is amazing. And then I started typing, and I was like, this is terrible. You need editors. And so it was really intense because it started out as something completely different than it ended up being. When I started writing the book, it wasn't really about me. It was just about the trouble or the difficulty being a black and gay person. And so as I began telling that story and as I kept, trying to, at the very least, edit the story down to digestible pieces, I was searching for examples, and I know me better than I know anyone else. And so I kept inserting myself into the story, and before I knew it, I was like, you know what? This is going to take a really sharp turn. But the final product, I'm extremely proud of. Like, I'm so proud of that book for so many reasons. But I think that the final story is something that will resonate with any person who reads it.
So the writing process sounds like it was intense and difficult, but
It was.
How was it in terms of emotionally for you to, as you kept inserting yourself and finding? Because I told you already, I'm on
Right.
my Oprah Van Zandt. I don't know
Right.
how to say that over here, but I told you that already.
You
I'm not
did.
gonna let you get away with really, because a coming out story is so personal.
It is.
And for you to share yours and put it on display, you really have to be comfortable with who you found yourself being as you inserted yourself into this story.
Yes.
So how, I don't want to say cathartic because again that's an open word, but
Right.
how emotionally difficult or not difficult was it to complete this
It
project?
was extremely emotionally difficult because as a writer, I think you do your audience an injustice if you don't write from a place of honesty and emotion. And so in order for me to write the emotion that I believe resonates throughout the book, I had to place myself back in that situation. So often when I would write, I would sit in a room, I would close my eyes, I would sit very, very quietly, and I would try to remember how I felt when whatever event that I'm writing about was happening. So I would
That's so
say,
brave.
yeah, I would say, you know,
Because when I go to a room by myself, it's to not remember whatever it is that I'm running from. So
Right.
to go inside yourself like that, I'm sorry, I hate to catch myself.
oh no, it's fine. Yeah, so I would just sit there, and then everything that I was feeling as I was thinking, I would just type it. So if my heart started to palpitate, I would write heart palpitations. If I started to sweat, I would write
Of
sweat.
course you would, Dr.
Yeah.
Porter. Of course you would, Dr. Porter.
Yeah, so, you know, it was that sort of process, and I think, or I believe, and it feels like from the feedback that people felt those emotions as well. So when people tell me that they read the book, it feels to me like they ran through the entire gamut of emotions that I ran through when I was writing it or living it. So it was really difficult. It was.
I have a question.
Sure.
When writing it, though you were writing from a place of memory, did you learn something new about yourself in writing it that
So-
you didn't realize that you didn't realize then at that point in time as you were going through it?
First off,
Like aha.
your voice is super sexy through these headphones. and you sitting real close to me. So I'm letting everybody know this is not sexual harassment, but I might touch you.
You about to confetti. Let me find
Right.
I love him, man.
Yes, I did. I learned that I was a lot further away from the person that I wanted to be than I thought. Like, as I was writing the book, I thought I was writing it as a self-actualized person, like a person who had gotten to that point where I am the best version of myself that I can possibly be, and now it's my turn to share my story. And as I was writing the book, I started to realize that I'm still not the best version that I can be of myself. There are still obstacles that I've ignored because I've overcome so many other things, and so I can use those as a distraction, right? I can say, oh yeah, sure, I came out the closet. Yeah, I told my family. Yeah, I'm married. I got a kid. Like, I did all these other things, but there was still a part of me, and there still is a part of me that's very, very afraid of what it means to be a black and gay person in 2018 living in America. I still have to deal with, again, I have a white husband. I have to deal with racism every single day. I have to deal with culture clash every single day. He just watched Boomerang for the first time last weekend. Like, are you kidding? Yeah, so like that sort of thing.
I noticed you say black gay person instead of
Yes.
saying black gay man. Is there a reason for that?
Because I think gay man is redundant. You don't say lesbian girl.
You're right. Duh.
Yeah,
Duh.
you don't. No
Duh.
one says lesbian
Duh.
girl.
Dr.
Yeah, you
Porter,
know, but
tell
black
us a
people
little
said
bit
that,
about
right.
the doctor part of Dr. O.T. Porter.
Sure. My doctorate is in international psychology. I graduated from the Chicago School of Professional Psychology in 2013. I cannot believe I've almost been a doctor for almost 5 years. It's crazy. And my degree basically allows me to do a ton of research, a ton of education. One of the proudest things that I've been able to do is go into other countries and help create mental health programs and help build programs that were not doing extremely well. So I've had that opportunity a few times to, go in and meet people from government organizations or non-government organizations and, change the entire landscape of mental health in an entire community and, do something that's way bigger than me, that whether my name is attached to it or not, it matters because it's going to move forward and create forward momentum for other people, and it's just always going to be bigger than me, the person, and that is
amazing.
my goal.
That is amazing.
Oh, excuse me.
Yes.
Go get it.
What were your first two books about?
My first book, no one should ever read.
What?
It was my first book. And if she's listening, I love you, Cynthia. Was a book that was a bunch of old poetry and short stories that I wrote when I was a teenager. I started writing when I was a kid. I just loved putting pen to paper. So I would always write these interesting, that I thought, short stories and this poetry. And then I met this woman who was a publisher, and she loved the work. She's like, "You're so young. This is wonderful." Let's see if we can get you published. So I got an international publishing deal. It was fantastic for me. You know, I was getting published by a company in England. You know, they put my first book as a hardcover. Do you know how important you have to be to get a hardcover book? Because they're so expensive. And this company was willing to like, they felt so passionately about the writing. They're like, yeah, we're going to put it on hardcover. The book is terrible. I cringe to this day when I open those pages, and yeah, like it's so bad. But I was super young. I was unseasoned. Like I was this dude who just knew I had a talent, but I never did anything to hone my talent. I never catered to my talent. I just thought I could live off having a natural talent, and anyone who does anything knows that's not enough. Like you still have to work on that craft, and I wasn't working on my craft. And now that I have had the opportunity to do that, like I graduated from University of Houston, #1 creative writing program in the country. And my bachelor's degree is from there, and I went through the creative writing program at University of Houston. And then I started realizing, like, this is terrible. No one should ever read this. So that was my first book, and it's called Dark Diary. Do not pick it up, but it is available.
That right there. That's that Jedi mind trick. That's a Jedi. Yeah. Go buy it.
I'm gonna get my phone now.
Yeah. And then my second book was a relationship book. It's called Why Not If It Works, and there's a whole bunch of subtitle, but Why Not If It Works is the main title. And that book was sort of born from the fact that I've been in this really interesting interracial relationship. We met when we lived away from each other. We lived long distance for 3 years before we moved and lived together. Then I moved and lived with him for 3 years, and we have a kid. And, you know, like when in the gay world especially, seeing two men make it in a long-term relationship is like, you know, Jesus coming down to sit at your table and talk to you. You know, people are just like, wow, like, how are you doing it? And I found myself, and he found himself, really talking to people a lot about maintaining their relationship and what works for us and how we do it. And eventually I just got tired of saying it over and over again. And I was like, you know, I'm just gonna write all this stuff down
and it was amazing.
Let people do with it what they can do with it. And so that's what I did.
You say long term. What's long term?
We are working on year 8 now.
Nice.
Yeah, we're working on year 8 now.
That's a unicorn.
Like 50.
That's a unicorn.
Right.
How long you been married?
I'm like, wow.
We are not
In a row?
officially married. Right, in a row. Yeah, we're not officially married. You know, we both wear
My wife
rings.
8 times.
Is that right?
Yeah, we both
You
wear
do?
rings
You
because
do?
we
I said I was with my wife 8 times. We got together and broke up 8 times, but you guys have been together for 8 years.
Yes.
That's amazing.
8 consecutive years. But yeah, we both proposed on the same day, so that was interesting. And so we both wear rings. But we're not officially married yet. It's something that's important to us, but every time we thought to do it, something more important happened. Our son graduated, because we always said we're going to wait till he graduates high school before we get married. But then when he graduated, we moved across the country. He decided to go to a much more expensive university. So there was just a lot of interestingness happening there. That's the crowd, they're clapping. Thank you.
That Sunday clap my day is coming from heaven above because, like I said, I read Why Not If It Works. As soon as it came out, I made it my business to get it on Amazon.
You did.
It's on my Kindle, my first Kindle right now. And it was amazing.
Thank
and
you.
as a lesbian and someone who I will admit is not really good at relationships, I still found it very wild. Don't be shaking your head. You don't be. That's not nice. I saw that.
An agreement that is with both, girl. You know.
Oh, okay,
you know,
but yeah, it was
the both of us,
still
girl. Stop
a very
playing.
informational and anecdotal read. It was helpful. So I want to talk a little bit before we get out of here. It's kind of, I don't know what time we're gonna go. So let's talk about tomorrow's event.
Yes. I'm so excited.
I'm super excited.
Yes.
I'm calling it my Oprah Van Zandt because there's gonna be some excerpts read.
Yes.
There's gonna be cake.
Yes. I love cake so much.
What's your favorite?
I know it doesn't look like it, but
But
I
it's so
do.
What's your
crazy
favorite?
Carrot
because
cake.
Carrot cake?
Yes. I
Mine,
love
mine is
carrot
German chocolate.
so we've been talking about this event, and in my mind, this is an event. And Dr. Porter's downplaying it like I'm sure you do most things. And he's like, oh, you know, I just need water and cake. And I'm looking at the message like, I asked him, I said, what's your rider? What do you need? He's like, oh, water and cake. I'm like, and cake? Like, not a pastry platter or like a fruit salad or, you know, like I need 5 trail mix bars. My dude was just like water and cake. I'm like, where did cake come in at? But
He loves cake.
you love
I
cake.
do love cake.
So we'll have,
Yeah. Oh, and for anyone listening, the book is available on Amazon.com. You can just search me, Otiz Porter, Otiz Porter, or the book is called Dear Anonymous Friend. Buy that one. The other two, I mean, you know, if you got money and you want to give it to me, thank you.
I would say
But-
buy Why Not If It Works.
Why not
because
if it works?
It
It's a
works.
great book. It really is.
So why not?
Yeah, it really is. It was a fantastic read.
That's the first time I heard. That was the first time I heard him say his first name. And
Oh, okay.
I remember hearing his name years ago.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah,
we
for
been
a
going
long
on
yeah,
this
for a
event
long
that
time.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, a long time.
I wasn't sure if he was going by OT, so I just like,
Yeah,
I'm not
I
gonna,
go- yeah, I go
I'm
by
not gonna
OT.
put the government out Otiz.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I've always loved the
Yeah,
name.
it doesn't
I know
matter.
OT, I know Dr.
Yeah.
Porter, I know Otiz.
It doesn't
We go
matter.
way back, all the way.
Yeah.
I know Paco, you know,
Right.
we go so far.
Wow.
So tomorrow at 11, they can find us.
Yes, they can find us at Newark Public Library in the African American Room. We'll be set up. I'll be signing books if you already purchased your book. If you haven't purchased your book, I have a very limited quantity available, so get there early. And we'll do a meet and greet for about 45 minutes to an hour. I'll read some excerpts, take some questions, and then be Oprah Van Zanted.
And that's
In
the
that
main North Public Library on Washington
Yes,
Street, right?
In
the
that
main
order.
library.
We also have a raffle
Yes.
of an autographed copy of Dear Anonymous Friend
Yes.
inside of a Redken tote bag
Mm-hmm.
full of full-sized Redken beauty products donated to us by Jennifer Edwards.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Shout out to My Guy versus My
University
Enemies.
is moving.
Our school, University
University
High.
High.
Yes.
Produced so
Uni
many
High.
amazing, talented, wonderful, devoted service people
Yes.
for the city of Newark. So shout out to her. We'll be doing the raffle at the end of tomorrow's event, and
Yes.
I can't wait to get there.
I can't wait to do it either. And yeah, I'm super excited. I'm reading this screen.
Oh, that's
Really,
Someone-
I have no
yeah,
idea.
somebody's in Texas. Yes, you can get yours signed. Shamia, that's what it says.
Look at
in
fancy.
Texas.
Just Joy Media will be bringing the tour to you very shortly. Dear Anonymous Friend, we're gonna get Dark Diaries too. I'm gonna just tell you
Right.
that. I'm gonna
Whoa.
sneak and read a couple of those.
If you do
excerpts
get
as
Dark
well.
Diary, please read it first. so
so we can see the growth.
yeah, so
Yes,
you can
yes.
see what I came from and understand how hard I worked to come
Probably will
down.
become a beautiful writing after you see the growth. You might be
Yeah.
like, you know what, this was a good piece, even though.
Yeah, it's cringeworthy at this point because I know what those stories and what those poems can be now, but back then, you know, I wrote it, you know, I edited for grammar and punctuation and was like, I did it. Like, you know, like I never went back and tried to edit the content and flush out a story, you know, like right now, I can write 1 second in time and I can write that for 20 pages. You know, I know how to pull out every single detail, but back then it was just about efficiency, like tell the story, get it done. You know, everything was short sentences and to the point. But now, you know, I appreciate flowery language where you can flush out a moment and it gives something more to the reader. So that's what I try to do. Yes.
I'm really glad that you got an opportunity to come.
Me too.
How often do you talk on an international platform?
It really depends on what is required and what people need from me. If I don't work for any company, I mostly work for myself. But if an international company calls and says, hey, we need X, or we're interested in this and we know you can provide a certain service, then I'll do that. You know, one of the last places I worked internationally was South Africa. I went down and met with about 5 different companies, but one specific company told myself and 2 of my colleagues, they're like, hey, we need some government funding. Can you put together, we're going to walk you through our building. We're going to let you meet everyone. Can you tell us everything we're doing wrong so that we can get more government funding? And we went through and we did a full analysis and gave them some suggestions that they took, and, were able to increase their funding because they were doing really great work in the community, but they just didn't have the money to support their needs and support the growing needs of the community, because the community needs were immense. We were in Johannesburg, South Africa, and it is a really desolate place in certain areas, and certain areas are completely ignored. So having the opportunity to be there and meet with these people, and really help, like you're in the homeland, this is where my people are from. My people aren't from South Africa, but this is still, the mother continent. I was in the first place I was ever a part of the majority, where seeing a white person is like, what you doing here? You know what I'm saying? So
like North.
Yeah, it was that sort of thing. So that was fantastic for me. So
nice. Well, on this international platform, 232 countries.
Yes.
What is it that you would like to say to everybody to leave, and what indelibly would you like to say to everybody?
I think the most important thing I can tell people is pretty much the crux of what Dear Anonymous Friend is about. Like, walking your truth. There is nothing more important than living an authentic life. And as difficult as it may seem from the outside, it's the best thing you can do for yourself, because these social constraints and these hollowed social mores that we all live by are not for us. That is us living for other people. That is us giving away our power to individuals who, at the end of the day, when they look in the mirror, they don't say, have I did my best for OT? They say, have I done my best for me? And we all have to do that. We all have to be the best version of ourselves. And the best way to be the best version of yourself is to walk in your truth. And whatever your truth is, my truth was being an out gay man, but maybe your truth is being a woman who doesn't want kids, or being a woman who doesn't want to be married, or being in an open relationship. If that's who you want to be, right? Like, do that, but I just walk in your truth, and live your best authentic life. I think when we can all do that, we will be more understanding of everyone else. We will be more accepting of other people. We will be more respectful of other people. And it won't be so much about tolerance, because I don't need to be tolerated. I need to be respected.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Can we give it up one more time for Dr. Porter?
Thank you so much.
And just real quick, for anybody who wants to know you, everyone wants to share. But I need to thank everybody for watching. I appreciate you guys listening to the Ustream family and the Gyroscope Radio family. I love you. I appreciate you. I don't know who that is, but don't. Oh, that's that phone? Oh, I thought it was that one.
No. We
okay,
dying
cool,
over here.
cool. So again, you can check me out tonight. I will be at Flow, 1425 Springfield Avenue in Urban tonight. And tomorrow I will be at 30 Maple Avenue in Montclair. Tomorrow's the open bar situation, and that whole dinner. Listen, them collard greens with that rice and lasagna that be coming through. You might need to come holler at that just a little bit. And we got music and dancing and me. So join me tomorrow, 30 Maple Avenue, and if Shaq comes through, we might sing happy birthday a little bit, just like that. We might do that a little bit. So come through. I'm trying to think. Oh, Junie, much love and appreciation. Dude, I know you're watching in some shape, form, or fashion. Junie drives a truck, so he can't get in the chat room. He watches the show from the truck while he's driving. So much love to you, big brother. I appreciate you for watching. Share the video. That's how we're going to move this thing along. We need you to share the videos. And tomorrow morning, if you are up and you are in the Newark area, come see Dr. Porter and Just Joy, 5 Washington Street, Newark, New Jersey, 11 a.m. upstairs in the African American room. In the African American room, I'm sure it's going to be there'll be cake and water. Don't forget the water. But thank you guys. I appreciate you guys for watching. I love. What's that? There's a. Okay, that's tomorrow. From 1 to 3 in Elizabeth. So, all you ladies, it is time. Oh, and I'm sorry, I don't want to cut into y'all time. But for all of those women who have recently found their power to say that they were sexually assaulted or abused or whatever, what have you, it is now time to come together. Please know that. It is time for you guys to present more of a united front. So tomorrow it starts in Elizabeth from 1 to 3 p.m. And of course, Gyroscope's own Tanya Champagne, she gonna be there and she gonna be talking about some things with you, so you need to hear what it is she needs to say. My name is DVS Ahmad, the voice of soul, and I always forget the thing that I'm supposed to say at the end.
Is it your turn?
Hold on, 2 seconds stop. I have the worst memory. Falling, tripping, don't do it. That's enough. I think y'all understood that, right? Everybody understood.
It felt accurate.
Thank you. There we go. So we are out of here. We thank you. We will see you right here again next Devious Friday.
Tashira Icon Don Taliaferro.
Just Joy. Make sure you follow us. Just Joy, JUSTTJOY on Instagram.
And Dr. Porter, you can find everything about me. I'm on Facebook, facebook.com/OT Porter Author, Instagram, OT Porter _author. I don't know what my Twitter is, but you can find me on those. That's enough. Thank you.
So, we out of here.